And of course, the infamous old technology on Lexus and Toyota vehicles. No CarPlay, no Android Auto, 90s technology that's in these vehicles. Okay, I'll be fair, maybe early 2000s technology. Welcome back. If you've been following along, you know I wasn't terribly happy with the GMC Sierra AT4 we had, the 2001. Only had it for about 4 months, but I really wanted to get back into a Lexus LX. I guess that's just what I'm used to. Here's what replaced it. Got a decent deal, I think, on it. I'll go through the numbers with you too, so you know what I paid for it and what they gave me for the Sierra. It's a 2017 model, 56,000 miles, single owner out of Houston, Texas. And it was at the local AutoNation dealership here in Round Rock, Texas, which is where I purchased it and traded in the GMC Sierra. Keep watching and I'll go through all the current condition, the little things wrong with it, and what you can possibly expect if you're looking at one similar, and maybe some of the little fixes that I'll be doing here and there just to make it right for us. Let's walk through it real quick on the outside first, and then on the inside I'll show you the current condition and all the little things that might need some touch up here and there. Now at just 56,000 miles, you would think that it's probably in pretty good cosmetic condition. And you know, I've seen some with 20 or 30,000 miles that are much worse than this, and I've seen some with 90,000 or more miles that are better than this. So it all depends on what the previous owner did to take care of the vehicle. This one in particular has a pretty good interior as far as condition goes. The interior looks pretty good actually for 56,000 miles. It looks a lot better than most I've seen at this mileage. The exterior, I can tell wherever this owner was parking, the sunlight, the worst of the sunlight, was on this side and the front. You can see all of the stuff that's kind of faded from the UV rays is on the front section and on that side of the car, on the outside, and a little bit on the inside. I'll show you that here in a minute. So we'll start right at the front. Looks like this had a dealer applied clear bra on the front. I don't know if you can see the line. There's a line running across right here where the clear bra ends and it comes down. Somebody at some point, might have been the purchasing dealer that I bought it from, used the wrong type of polish on this clear bra section and it really dulled it out. I'm gonna try, and it's in decent condition. It's not really torn or ripped or anything. There's no deep scratches. I'm gonna try to polish it. There's a couple of polishes that are specifically made for clear bra and plastic, and I've never used them before, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I can salvage it instead of having to replace it. I'd much rather not have to remove that or pay somebody to remove that if I can help it. Well, that's interesting. There's actually a little Lexus logo in there, so this was definitely dealer applied. The front end is mostly in good condition. There's not any terrible rock chips or scratches or anything like that. The only thing on the front that's driving me crazy is this faded plastic logo. I don't know if a direct OEM replacement is available without having to replace the grille. I bet there is. If anybody knows the part number for it, I would really appreciate that if you could leave it in the comments. If not, I'm going to go through the parts diagrams and see if I can find it myself and replace that. I tried polishing it out with some compound. I probably don't have the right stuff. Tried a dual action, tried it by hand, tried a handful of different compounds I have, from more aggressive to less aggressive, and nothing really made any sort of difference. It probably just needs to be replaced. Other than that, the front end is actually in pretty good condition. It does need a good buff, compound, and polish, followed by some sort of a sealer. The wheels are all in pretty good condition. This is front driver's side, no curb rash. Rear passenger side, rear driver's side, no curb rash on this one, but the hubcap is a little bit loose. I gotta pull it off at some point later on and see why that is. Passenger side rear, no curb rash. I'm surprised actually how good the wheels look, except for this one. This is the front passenger side, and it's got curb rash here, 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 here. Oh, and it's got the loose hubcap. Next little thing, you see there's the remnants of a pinstripe that was there at some point. What's there is not the actual pinstripe. It looks like it's the adhesive is there on both sides. A little less here. Somebody tried to take the pinstripe off and then didn't really do a good job of removing what was left over. So I've got to take my time. Unfortunately, it runs across the entire length of the car, but whenever I get around to doing the paint correction and everything, I've got to take what's remaining of that pinstripe off of both sides of the vehicle. No crazy dents or dings or anything like that on the sides. It all looks pretty good, surprisingly. There's a little scuff mark here. Rear end is pretty good. There's a little scratch right over here. I don't know if somebody did that while they were trying to take this pinstripe off or what. It doesn't, I can't catch it with my nail. And there's two little tiny dings right here, probably door dings, that are gonna drive me crazy, but they're small enough and not creased to where I think paintless dent repair can probably take them out. Interior, I just did a quick cleanup yesterday. Don't know how well you can tell on the video, but it looks like nobody's ever sat on this passenger side, just barely. Seats are really clean. The armrest has a few scuff marks. Ignore the greasy Armor All. I'm gonna wipe it down good, get all the gross Armor All off of everywhere. Driver's seat's in really good shape. Hasn't been refinished, surprisingly. You always see them kind of refinished along the bolster on the side and there by the dealerships where they sand it down, prime it, paint it, dye match it, but it doesn't look like it's had any of that kind of work. Steering wheel's in good condition. The only thing inside so far that I can see that needs attention is this piece of wood trim. In the video, you probably can't tell that well, but the clear coat is not cracked. It's all there. None of the veneer is peeling up like used to happen on the first generation LX570s, but if you look closely in the sunlight, can't see it at night, you see those little cracks, and that's underneath the clear in the actual wood veneer. I can't feel that up here. It's not horrible. I can live with it, but I would much rather replace this piece. I bet that this piece is probably around $1,000 from Lexus. I'm gonna try to see if I can find the part number for just this section if I can. And if it's not an arm and a leg, I might replace it, or I might leave it, or I might wrap it. I don't know. You guys watching this video, if you've had similar issues with LXs or other vehicles, what have you done to fix it? I'm curious to see what others have done there. Back seat, same story, looks really new. My wife really appreciates these in every vehicle we own. For the kids, you can see, doesn't look like the back seats have been used much. I do like the second generation of the LX570s, the 16 through the 21, because of the controls. I like that they moved them here instead of there. That's probably more functional, to be honest, because this means you have to have this down in order to control any of this stuff. But you got your seat coolers, your seat heaters, AC controls, all there for the back seats. And then, of course, you've got the obnoxious screens on the back of the seats there, which I really haven't decided if I'm going to keep or remove. I'll let the kids decide that. And then in the back, I don't think these are ever been used. We do use a third row whenever the kids have their friends or if we're going to the lake with other folks. So I'm glad that this one has it. That was one of my requirements personally for finding another LX, is I didn't want one with the 2 rows. I wanted one with the 3 rows. Headliner's all good. Nothing to speak of there. Floor mats aren't terrible. If they were, I would probably be looking for a set of all-weather mats, but these are in good shape. I'm just gonna leave them alone. And the very last thing on the interior that needs attention is the shift knob. I'm guessing whoever owned this probably had a ring or maybe kept their hand on here a lot. You can see the rubbery coating starting to wear off there. The metal is not bad. I can probably clean this up, but the the fake leather feel coating that they put on these, just like a lot of the BMWs, is rubbing off. I found an aftermarket shift knob, not directly from Lexus, but an aftermarket one for, I think it was 30 bucks on Amazon. It's Amazon Prime, so worst case, if it's junk, I can return it, but I ordered that. Should be here today, actually. And I'll put it on, see what it looks like, and I'll post a video for you guys if you want the same one. It's the same shape, and it's got leather, but it's got like a carbon fiber trim, I guess. We'll see what it looks like in comparison and how well it fits. Keep an eye out for that next video. That'll be the first video of things to modify here. And then center console, if you've test driven or sat in any of these, usually this whole area, especially here, has a lot of scratches and scuffs just from people leaving things, keys, glasses, wallets, stuff like that there. But this one is very clean, very, very clean. It's got the cool box, which I didn't have on my list of requirements, but I really like the cool box. We used it pretty often on our last LX. And of course, the infamous old technology on Lexus and Toyota vehicles. No CarPlay, no Android Auto. So I'll be looking at the available options to get CarPlay and Android Auto on here instead of having to deal with the old 1990s technology that's in these vehicles. Okay, I'll be fair. Maybe early 2000s technology. That's it. That's the quick walkthrough and the little things that need some attention. Overall, not too bad. I'll wrap this video up here. In the meantime, I love you guys, and I will see you next time.